Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zod. Anyways, man, I'm back in the car, you know what I'm saying? But some people say they actually liked it like this, but you know, I miss my camera. Besides that, for the people that order sweaters, man, your sweaters are on the way. And you gotta admit, it didn't take more than 3 days, you know what I mean, for them to be did. But you know, for the people that want more custom, like you want certain color sweaters with certain color writing, you know, in bigger letters, it might cost you a little bit more. But for the people that's ordering the basics, you want black sweaters, white writing, gray sweaters, black writing, or you know, mix it up, maybe this color, maybe a navy blue, maybe a royal blue sweater, which I'm looking for them right now because a lot of people have asked. You know, it takes me some time because I got to physically stump the pavement in order to go out there and find these particular sweaters, which are of good quality, you know what I mean? So forgive me for that, but just continue to hit my DM and I will continue to address it, you know what I mean? But besides that, man, you know, I don't like to speak on too many entertainers if for the simple fact people tend to take it bad because they feel as if I shouldn't talk on certain entertainers, which is kind of funny because I have a YouTube channel that started off a controversy. So talking about certain subjects should be nothing to the people that really know me. Now, I know it's basically the haters, 2-5s, PCs, and all these other child molesting lames that be on here that feel some type of way about me. I know they're the ones that really want to cock block, or maybe just the ones that are just upset at the fact that Zar, you know, runs with a Mexican gang and just, you know, and I still me and still walk the street and still do what I feel like I should do, you know what I mean? Now, that's not to be negative. That's just to point out the obvious, because for an individual to make me upset when I don't even know them, it's kind of funny, especially if it's no disrespect towards me. Now, if it's disrespect towards me, then I could see why I would get frustrated. But when PCs and 2-5s and all these other trash bags that be out there, Chesters, they keep their distance, I have no issue with them because they keep their distance. I don't know them. I don't know of them outside of a couple of lames that feel like they got channels and want to talk about certain things. But outside of that, I don't pay them no attention. Now, as far as speaking on current events, like Lil Boosie, the reason I'm speaking on it because it should come as no secret. It kind of frustrates me sometimes when somebody had died that's in the game and doing something grimy, and people will get on and cry about it. You know what I mean? And these be full-fledged thugs telling absolutely every detail of how he got shot, who shot him, the kind of gun, the bullet, you know what I mean? Whether it was hollow point or, you know, people like to get descriptive and they feel as if that's not telling, which it is. Like whether an individual did the shooting or not, for you to get on there as a gangster, you know what I mean? And point out the dude and stipulate on exactly why and how he shot him is basically, no, it's not even basic. You're just snitching. You might as well be a cop, put on a badge, and do their job, because you're doing the exact same thing that they do, except they don't have to tell. They're waiting for the information to come in. First 48, prime example. You know what I'm saying? Look at what they do and look what you do, and then you understand everything that you speak on and how you speak on it is telling. Now, if you're just a regular news outlet, or you're somebody that may have grew up around it, but you've never really been about that, then, you know, nobody can really say nothing. Then you're basically just a gossip channel. You know what I'm saying? Which most YouTube channels are gossip channels. They gossip in some type of way or another. You know what I mean? But when you get on there and you've verbally put out there that you know what I mean, or you might have an inkling who did the shooting, because you have people in states, in those states, that actually tell you this information, whether it's bogus or it's actual real information. So when the cops knock on your door and tell you to give up your source, all these fools that say they wouldn't would. You're gonna give up your source because you've already put it out there. So basically, you got information on why somebody got killed, how they got killed, and you're basically saying that you have people that are getting at you, that tell you that are reliable sources. Well, the cops are gonna see that, come to you, you're a reliable source. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't tell, then you can ride that beef, as you know. So I forgot the exact word for it. I've used it before, but basically, you know, you're gonna catch it too in some way or another, because you refuse to give up your source. So you're impeding, you know what I mean, on the murder investigation. You know what I mean? So it's basically one of those. And I get it. YouTube is full of it. You have to say things. You don't have to if you're a real motherfucker, but a lot of cats feel like they have to say something in order to get their ratings up. Me, I've taken many L's, bounce back, get a win on another video. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna sell my soul to the highest bidder in order to put out content that's gonna lead to somebody getting busted. Even if you notice, a lot of these 2.5s, I don't say nothing. Dog, I've got all types of stupid stuff from people show different things, but I never put out there like, oh, this fool show, you know what I'm saying? Because that's telling, you know what I mean? That's telling regardless, and that's a no-go. That, you know what I mean? You basically seal your own fate when you start doing that, because the cats that did rock with you because you were solid see that you'll do anything in order to get the views. Now, I talked about a lot, but as far as like right now, but what I'm talking about, the reason I brought this up is because Lil Boosie had just got shot in Texas, and I wanted to jump on that video because I've seen a lot of people crying about the fact that he got shot. Mo 3, which I'm figuring is Mo 3, it might just be Mo. I never listened to his music. I saw an interview that he did with Cam Capone TV and Cam Capone News, and that it was lit. You know what I mean? I basically got a general idea of who he was, but I had forgot about that interview until he got killed. Now, Lil Boosie getting shot didn't come as a surprise. Not saying that he had enemies in that state, but if you know anything about the rap game now, it's no longer really about lyrics. It's no longer really about bars, or even about these drug addicts that just feel that they need to sip half a bottle of syrup in order to feel some type of way on their lyrics, or to get more in touch with their feelings. It's about a reputation, not necessarily a good reputation, because a lot of these cats that are out here pushing this agenda are not really out there doing it themselves. They just feel like they need to portray a certain image in order to garnish that attention, which is funny because that's exactly what a lot of these labels like. You know what I mean? I feel like when you get on the label for doing negative shit like that, you're basically signing yourself away to the devil, because I figure every time a rapper that's out there on the street really thugging or trying to thug signs his life away and then gets killed. FBG Doug. This shit was hot. People say all types of, but I like this music. It was turned up, it was disrespectful, and it was exactly what the street wanted. Signed the deal. Dead. King Von. He said what the streets wanted to hear. They want to hear that drama. When you grow up in that environment and you haven't reached a level of consciousness where you're like beyond that, you still want to hear that. I'm at a level to where I feel I'm too old to gangbang and everything, but I still like to hear all that disrespect because it's a turn up. I don't want to hear really about sipping lean and how much crack you can do, because, to be honest, I've seen fools do it. So to see a crackhead on camera drinking half a bottle of promethazine, that doesn't appeal to me. To me, that you're just a dope fiend, you know what I mean? No, you're just a different form of a crackhead, but to each is his own. Not judging, but basically you're a crackhead, you know what I mean? But with that being said, let's get back to what I was talking about. Now, the rap game it's got to that point. And the funny thing about it is because people used to like to stereotype that it was just mostly a black culture that portrayed that, lived and died by it, and really put that image out there. Even with the whole beefing thing, like it's sad that people need that in order to come up, like to diss somebody. I just did like 3 songs where I dissed like a few different people, and so far they're catching they're catching spark because people like to hear it. But this is not people that I'm just dissing for clout. I'm just dissing them because they disrespected me in some way. So I figure I had to spit back at them. Now, that's besides the point. But the rap game has been so corrupted that now it's like that's the only way to get on in a lot of ways, is to disrespect somebody else. Now, people expect it from black artists. You know what I mean? Especially the ones that came from the street and are just super grimy. They expect it. That's to most labels, that's the win right there. They like the griminess, they just don't like the griminess that comes with it. But they also know once they sign you away, that when you die, you gonna get even more fame and more buzz. So even if it's just like they sign you for $1 million, but you die and they make a quick 20-30 million off you, they've already made their investment back 10 times, and they'll find a million just like you that's willing to disrespect and get uber grimy in order to get to a certain point. Before that, it was the promethazine and all that, and these fools are dressing like they're women. And that's no shot at you, but if you're not gay and you're dressing like a woman, you're wearing a purse, then, you know, it's just, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Why even betray the image? You ain't Prince. You know what I mean? Why even, and rest in peace of Prince, but you ain't Prince, and you didn't grow up in the 80s where, all the Shalimar and all that. You get it. You know what I'm saying? But, we're past that. Now we're back to that grimy, the killing shit. You know what I mean? So they get off on this. The labels are like demons, straight out. Yeah, even the ones that be in the hood that be like, oh yeah, we're for you. No, they about that money, and they will utilize you until you get to a point to where they can no longer control you, and then you get removed from the equation. King Von died. Just did a deal. FBG Duck just did a deal. Was on his way up. Dead. You know what I'm saying? RIP to him. RIP to Von. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's a setup, man. The whole rap gang is a setup. And like I said, the reason I put this video out is because it's current events. It's news that people want to hear. Lil Boosie being shot is nothing new. When you put out that type of energy, it comes back on you. If you notice, I seen like a snippet of an interview that he did with Vlad TV about a couple of days ago. And he was humble. Even the way he was moving around, you see somewhere or another it affected him that close to knowing that he could have lost his life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way the rap game is. It's sad that you can no longer really do anything without fearing, and not even fearing, but just always have to be on guard because a motherfucker trying to take your win over the simple fact that you're making money. Dudes hate to see people shine, especially when they feel like they should have been in your place. There's so many people that see me and feel like they need to be. I'm not even at 25,000 subscribers. I got people that hate me just for the simple fact that they feel like they can do it better. Some people say that they wish they would have started it before me and maybe could have outshined me. But they get it twisted because it's not necessarily about the shine. I'm not trying to relive my old days. I'm just trying to be me. A lot of times talking like this is therapeutic because for most of us, no, we can never really verbally express anything because we're repressed. You know what I mean? It's just something in us that is always so guarded. Me, even when it comes to emotion, I'm just dead in a lot of ways. A lot of things emotionally just don't affect me, but that's just the way I am. I was taught that way, and that's the way I grew up. But I'm not gonna talk no more on the video. All I'm gonna say, man, the rap game is for the devils now, straight out. Because a lot of times when you're doing this, man, you just putting your life in harm's way. And that's not to say stop rapping. That's just saying if you put out negativity in the world, it's gonna come back on you in some way or another. And even if it don't affect you, maybe somebody else. And this is just basically me talking about whatever, and then people know that I'm gonna talk about what I want to, whether you choose to listen or not. You know what I mean? But that whole thing with Lil Boosie, people don't cry about it, man. It happens. Mo 3 is sad, but it happens. When you out there, you out there. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know what I mean? But anyways, I'm your boy Zod. I'll have a better video, but this is just basically to talk about that. But on that note, I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out.